Hi everybody, I'm Hannah Mo, as you know, and welcome to my blog. I know it took a long time for me to do this, and that's because my schedule's like meeting after meeting after meeting, and yeah. So, I already have like a few questions that some of you submitted like a couple months ago, and so I'm going to answer those first. But if you guys have any questions along the way, just go to the Q&A section and submit them, and I'll be able to see them and answer them. Okay, so the first one is, how did you start your blog? Actually, it started in June of 2014, I believe. Yeah, 2014, and me and my dad were at Subway, and he's like, "You love reading books a lot, right? Right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do, and I love this certain book." The first book actually that started my book blog was Ray of Hope by W.J. May. And I was like, this book was really good and everything. I was telling my dad everything that I liked about the book and certain points and everything. And he's like, you could start reviewing. There aren't any 14-year-old reviewers out there. And I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. Um, and well, yeah, I know I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry. And well, we got home and I was like, "Mom, guess what me and my dad came up with?" And she was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? We should think about it." So we thought about it for a couple days, about a week. And so we started to build the blog and everything. And I was like, "This looks really cool. I really want to do this." And so I jumped in, and here I am almost 2 years later. It's going to be 2 years in June. And I'm really excited for the 2 years because it's really special to me, the fact that I was able to keep this going for 2 years. The next one is, why does it take you so long to do reviews? Um, okay, so lately it's taken me a while to do reviews, but that's because um, there were these few books that authors sent me a while ago, and I read them. Um, and my dad always reads the books before I read them. But these books, my dad read them and he realized like these weren't appropriate for me. And so he told me that these weren't appropriate and that I had to contact the authors and tell them I couldn't read the books. And I did contact the authors. So like I kept getting certain books which I couldn't read because it was not appropriate for me to read. And so I created this survey that I have all the authors fill out to make sure that any books that are inappropriate um, are canceled out as soon as I get the book instead of like a couple weeks later. Also, my reviewing process is like I read the book, I write bullet points, and then the next day I reread the books and I point out things that are, and I add more bullet points of what else jumped out at me the second time I read it, and I keep going over it and over it, and writing it, and soon enough it's like a whole page of bullet points, depending on how long the book is. And so once I feel good enough about the review, I write it, and once I type it, and with help from my dad, because sometimes I like miss certain stuff or something, he is like, okay, so now you can post it. And I make sure to reread it and give it up to other people to read to make sure it sounds good. And yeah, and then I finally get to post it. Um, Speaking of which, one of the reviews that I have written is the book Storm of Fury, and that's about to be posted. And then I'm working on editing a couple video reviews called was Red Queen, and then another one is Wonderland. And once I get those posted, I can work on other reviews. Also, another question was, what is my favorite type of book and genre? Hold on, favorite book genre and authors. My favorite book is, well, one of them is Narnia. I love Narnia. And another one is The Hobbit, but I mean, it'd take me like a full-on week for me to list all my favorite books because I have a long list. But yeah, a couple of them, Narnia. And I also, there's another one that I like. It's called the Ted Dekker series. It's called the Circle series. And the first one is called Green, I believe. I always get the, like, which one's the first book mixed up because they're colors instead of, like, titles. And my favorite genre, fantasy and adventure, I believe so, because I love, like, getting into another world and seeing, like, the adventures they go through and the fantasy things people come up with. And but I love all the other genres, but fantasy adventure is kind of my favorite. How to publish books, how to increase your online presence as an author. How to publish books. I'm a book reviewer. I don't publish books, so I'm not really sure about that. I think you have to get in contact with like an editor agency and like a publisher agency and like see like what they have to say, and and how to increase your online presence as an author. Definitely like give them to people, to book reviewers like me and popular book reviewers, and get your books known out there. Like do book releases, do like giveaways, and a lot of different stuff. Get involved. Don't like put your book in like a store, step back and wait a full on 3 years expecting your book to be popular. You actually have to put the work in and not like be completely invisible. What are your favorite books? Oh, the answer to that. What are your favorite movies? What got you interested in doing reviews? My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies is Parent Trap, and then another one is, I keep forgetting the name of these movies. Oh, yes, Psych the Musical. I know it isn't a movie, but it's long enough to be considered a movie because it's 2 hours, I believe. Now we're in 45. Psych the Musical. I really like that one. Got me interested. The fact that, like I said earlier, the fact that I really like reading books and like pointing out things about the books and like whether it's good or bad, and I'm known as the honest kid in my family because I'm really honest. Yeah. How can mothers encourage their children to read? What are the topics that are interesting to your generation? Okay, this has like 4 questions in it, so I'll do 2 at a time. How can mothers encourage their children to read? Funny as this sounds, when I was up until 5th grade, I hated reading. I did not like it at all. I thought books were boring. I thought it was uninteresting, so I just didn't read. Until someone came up to me and was like, you need to read the first chapter of this. And I'm like, okay. And so I read the first chapter, and I got really interested in it, and I convinced my parents to buy me a book, which wasn't that hard because they were like, yay, you're finally reading! And so, yeah, I slowly got into books. How you can encourage your kids to read is, like, get different genre books and have them each read, like, the first 2 chapters and see which one interests them more, and then slowly encourage them to read it. Like, a page a day or like 5 pages a day and slowly do it. Not be like, I want you to read this book by the end of the week or something. I mean, you can do that, but if you put like pressure, they're not gonna want to do it as much. So like try and get different genres and stuff and just like be like, so what did you think of the first chapter? What did you think of this? And just find out what they like and get like books about it and slowly get them into reading. Also, what are the topics that are interesting? Well, like I said, fantasy for me, but I know a lot of people like adventure and mystery and fantasy mostly. Fantasy and mystery is what I've been hearing, but I also know that people love romance and horror. I'm not really a horror person. I don't like horror that much because I get scared of horror easily. Okay. How do teens learn about what books are out there? Usually by friends, or they see it online through fan fiction or something. Usually, like a lot of my friends are like, you should read this book, or I get emails from authors asking me about the book. So I mean, it's usually through friends' influence and through the influence of everybody on the internet, what book is most popular or what book is interesting. So they mostly go with like what their friends say is interesting. Also, what inspired you to do what you are doing now? I answered this one earlier, but like a lot of things inspired me to do this. But I mean, you can't just like. I mean, I was surprised when I got like 15 emails from like 15 different authors saying they saw my blog within like a week. I was really surprised. And so that kind of encourages me to keep going, Sorry, they're writing on the. Okay, I'm sorry. I know it's loud noises. I'm trying to get there. Okay. Promotion of books so hard and time consuming. I'm confused by this question. Well, I mean, if you want help promoting your books, there's like apps and stuff. But I mean, like I said earlier, you need to put in the hard work in order to get people to know about the book. It's not just submit a book and then expect it to be turned into a movie. I mean, it's high hopes. You can have hopes. Like I have hopes that one day I will get to meet Stephen Amell, actually, from Arrow. It's good to have hopes, but if you don't put in like the work and everything, it might not happen. It could, but you just really need to focus on like what's important and what you want to be successful and then work towards it. Your reviewing technique, strategy, rating chart. Why you review, how to write a good review. Well, I focus on the plot and then the character development along with like how they react to stuff, how they act, whether or not I would act like that, or I put myself in their position and then I kind of go off of that and then I see like whether or not it pulls me in or whether or not I'm just sitting there reading it and not exactly in the story. I already answered those two. Well, how you think doing reviews is helping with your studies? It helps with my writing and my grammar. I used to be really bad at reading and writing and grammar. So doing this has definitely increased my grammar and writing skills. I'm able to write like if you noticed on my blog, each review is written a little bit differently. That's because I'm trying different techniques and stuff. And so it's like I'm trying to see which works best for me, but I definitely think it's helping with my studies because now I used to write like a paragraph of like reports for history and science, and now I can write longer than a paragraph because it's helped improve me a lot because, you know, now that I'm homeschooled, I don't do like 5-page book reports or anything. But yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot. Alright. Life of being a present teen today to help other teens cope in today's world of so many concerns that teens have to deal with. Teens were okay. I know I can be like mean. A lot of teens are just like pressured into doing stuff because you have like, what is it called? School pressure, peer pressure. That's what it's called. Okay, peer pressure and other things that we have to deal with, and we don't understand why our emotions are all out of whack. We're just like mad, happy, sad, all in 1 hour. And so, you know, it's definitely interesting being a teen and seeing how other people deal with it. I think to the concerns of the world is definitely important, but I'm not really one for politics, so I don't really like to include myself in that because, you know, I know everybody has different views and I just don't want to get caught up in that. But it's definitely hard to see like people waging war and everything and attacking and all the stuff that's happened in the past few months for me to see all that happen, and I just, you know, I don't know how to put it into words, but I definitely feel bad for the people who suffer in the world's economy and stuff. I really do feel bad for them. And you know, some people take what we have for granted. I know that. Okay. So I got those questions done from people who asked them. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, submit them to me and I'll answer them. I just got done reading the ones off of the survey. Okay. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Okay. What takes you? Okay. What takes me so long to, like I said earlier, it's like a process and everything. What takes me so long to do book reviews? I have like other stuff I have to do as long as book reviews, and you know, it's like it takes like several days for me to write one review because I want to make sure that I include everything I want to include and I do everything that I need in the review, and I'm not being, you know, and I'm not including something that's in a completely other book, so it takes me a couple days. That along with like doing other schoolwork like math and science I have to focus on because my major, what's going to be my major in college, is marine biology, and math and science are two very important things that I have to focus on. And I'm taking the ECT in summer or fall, and so I have to focus on ECT and studying and everything and making sure I'm really focusing on that stuff. Alright. Trying to see. Okay. So does anybody have any questions they want to submit? Sorry. Trying to get to the website where it has the other ones. Okay. Alright. So that's all the questions that I have like lined up right now. So okay. I have it linked up to the place where people send in questions. So what other subjects do I do in school besides math and science? Well, there's cooking, guess home ec kind of. And then I do history along with Bible, where I memorize chapters of the Bible and I learn it. I also do what's it called? Projects on like my main focus of that year. Like last year I did a project on leadership and this year my project's on cooking. So I do a lot of different like activities. Alright. It's 9 o'clock. Alright, so okay. Alright, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. How are there any books that I reviewed that I wish I could change? Nope. There are some books that I read that turned interesting. Like there's this one book that someone sent me and they sent it to me in like book form and it was like the actual book, not like ebook. And I mean the drawings were good and everything. And a couple of the other books were interesting. And I mean I was honest in that review, I was. But you know, some people disagreed with my viewing on the book, but then again, this is like my blog and what I feel about the book. So I mean, there's not all my reviews have been honest from my point of view. But I mean, if you guys read a book and you don't like it and you think my review was wrong, then that's your opinion. But in my opinion, that's how the book was. Oh, yes, I said I would include strange. I don't know. Oh, it's all the way over there. Okay. In the previous video, I did an unboxing, and there was this one book called Pods, and I read that one, and it was a really interesting book. I like that book. But you're gonna have to wait for the review unless you want me to review it live. I was gonna show you the book, but I left it like in the kitchen. Not the kitchen, the living room. So yeah. I mean, I have a couple books that I could review live for you guys, but I don't. This is like the time where you guys can ask me questions and find out interesting stuff about me, or not so interesting, depending on your point of view. Checking to see. Okay. Alright, checking in on something. Okay. So I am out of questions. So if you guys want to send me one in something you want to know about me or something you want to know about my blog, I'll be happy to answer it. I didn't expect for me to answer 11 questions that fast. So, let's see. Okay. So this is going to be posted live to YouTube. So if you're watching this, like, recorded already, you can send in your questions, and I might be doing a sequel to this. In answering, instead of, like, just questions, it's going to be, hopefully, a book review and then an author interview. And so I'm working on, like, the authors, like, seeing who would want to do it with me and seeing who wants me to review their book live. Also, I am posting book reviews on both Leisure Zone and my blog, but they're two separate blogs, and it's going to be two separate book reviews. Like, the book review for Wonderland will appear on Leisure Zone, while the book review for Storm of Fury will appear on mine. So it won't be the same book reviews on both channels. So it's, you have to, like, keep up with both of them. And I do update Twitter a lot, but, like, I retweet a lot of stuff. So it kind of gets buried whenever I tweet. Also, I got okay. I don't know where I went. But I also have this other book that I'm ready to review. However, that won't be seen for a while because I have to work on the wording and everything. So if there are no more questions, I mean, I can end this early, or, you know, I could start you guys for the next 24 minutes awkwardly. All depends on what you guys want to do. Oh yeah, gotta do both. Okay. So yeah. So if you guys want to send me your questions, or you want me to end the broadcast, you may. It's all up to you guys. Or I could answer. Alright, well, it was wonderful talking with you guys. I'm glad I got to answer a couple of your questions. Hopefully, you know, you enjoyed this broadcast. Like I said, you know, this blog is really important to me. And, I mean, it's going to reach its 2-year anniversary soon. So I hope to get a lot of book reviews out by the 2-year anniversary. Like, yeah. Oh, I have new viewers. If you guys want to send in questions, you can. Or, you know, disappear. I think my computer is acting up. It's, like, freezing every few seconds. Alright. So how many of you guys seen Star Wars? I just got a question about Star Wars. I have seen the new Star Wars movie, and the question is, have you seen the new Star Wars movie, and are you gonna do a review about it? I have seen the new Star Wars movie, but I don't think I will. People were like, why don't you download movie reviews? And I was like, maybe. I'm talking with my parents about it, and I'm just like, it's a baby situation. It's like, will I? Could I? Alright. Actually, I actually considered doing both book and movie reviews. When I first started the blog, I was like, why don't we include movies? And then I was like, oh, yeah, if I include movies, I might get sued. So I'm working on that. I'm thinking about it. Working in on that. Also, some of you guys wanted to know. Okay. What my favorite subject in school is. Okay. Science, actually. Reading is more of a. Science and reading are kind of like fighting for the top spot, but science kind of wins over it because I love like oceanography. I love like everything that has to do with the ocean. I love like everything that you can do, like experiments and everything that you can do with it. Yeah. Also, I do have an editor. My editor is called my dad. My editor is either my dad or my sister. One of my sisters. Depends on like who's available at that time because two of my sisters are in college. The other one is working. She's a teacher. Then my mom's a teacher. My dad is an accountant, actually, and an author. Funny enough, he's an author. And he actually did a book about like me when I was a kid. Well, my family when I was younger, not just me. Okay. Let's see if Twitter has anything. Twitter has something. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So, I have gotten. The question is, have I gotten offers from other book blogs? Yes, I have. I've actually gotten a couple, but I already have two, and I don't want to add a third one. I like the two that I have right now. I also have a couple authors to do. I'm doing a book blast on the 19th, so keep your eyes out on the 19th, okay? Also, I am doing a couple of giveaways. I'm talking with the authors right now, and I'm saying like how many books they would like to give away. So I will be posting about the giveaways on my Twitter, on Facebook, and on my blog. Also, have I ever considered stopping? No. I mean, my mom was like, you have too much on your plate right now, and I'm like, I know. So I have to like pause sometimes, but I've never considered actually stopping altogether on book reviews. So it means too much to me to stop because I really enjoy sharing my opinion about books and seeing people actually care about what I say about the book and people looking at my blog. I've reached over 15,000 views on my blog actually, and I've gotten like all around the world and everything with my blog, and I'm just like, wow, this means so much to me because people in France and England are enjoying my book blog, and they're actually reading it. I found out that my book blog was on a site, and I didn't know that. So when I looked at the site, it was gone, and it updates like every few weeks, and so the post about me has already disappeared. So it's not there anymore. But I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that was possible. And so yeah. Well, it was lovely talking with you guys. I'm out of questions and out of questions and out of like things to talk about. So yeah. Wait. Do I have any animals? Yes, I do. I have 3 dogs, 20 chickens, 4 ducks, and a goose, along with 2 pigs, and a lake. I love fishing too. So yeah, I loved talking with you guys. I really did enjoy it. Thanks for asking me questions. Thanks for watching this. Like I said, if you're watching this already recorded and it's not live anymore, you can always send in your questions. I would be happy to answer them either during another live session or on Twitter and Facebook. That's what I'm trying to think of. Also, I'm really glad you guys have enjoyed this blog. Remember to check both Leisure Zone and my blog. I will be adding the links in the YouTube description. I will be sharing this over Twitter and Facebook so you guys can like watch me be myself in front of the camera. Yeah. And thanks for everything, guys. Be ready for the book blast on January 19th. So keep an eye out. Bye. Once I hit the stop box. Bye.